Hello, everybody. I have a question. Do you have the ability to maintain a golden outlook? Do you have the ability to grab a golden outlook on things? Have you ever spent years being in a state of lack, a mindset, that's what I'm trying to say here, a mindset of poverty, a mindset that is you basically being trapped inside of a cage because of what people may have said to you from the past. People may have told you that you can't do this, you can't do that. People have self-limiting beliefs about yourself, about you. Or maybe you tried to in the past to give an opinion about something. You tried to share an outlook about something, and then you were instantly shut down. Whether we're talking about blood relatives, whether we're talking about lousy friends, or past stubborn, selfish ex-lovers, whether we're talking about any of those types of situations here, have you ever felt like you were so small that you couldn't be able to actually go after whatever you want? Or you had some type of belief that possibly no matter what you try, you won't be able to accomplish what you want? Or you feel nervous or belittled because you don't have the answer to something? How many of you have possibly asked a question of somebody that you care deeply about or somebody that you trust? And you ask the question, and instead of them giving you a helping hand, instead they're taking the opportunity to bash you. They're taking an opportunity to make you feel less than. They may give you a speech like, how can you not know this? I knew this at this age, or I did this so many years ago and this and that. Instead of actually trying to help you, instead of actually trying to uplift you or to enlighten you about a situation that you don't know about, they're taking the opportunity to make you feel small. Have you ever been through something like that? Because I certainly have. It's happened to me on numerous occasions from my past. But what I am learning, ladies and gentlemen, is that I've always had the power within myself to go after what I want. The ability to have abundance, the ability to have the power to go after something that is truly passionate for me has always been there. But sometimes hanging with the wrong type of people, putting my heart in the hands of the wrong type of people, putting my focus on the wrong type of people hindered me. But now I'm starting to make the right type of changes to trust in myself, but also surrounding myself in a little bit more better company. Well, what can I say? Company that actually has improvements in their own selves. People that have the same type of goals of where I'm trying to go to as well. And they don't mind sharing their knowledge with me too, to help me to be a better person. And never once have I ever been talked down to by these people. They haven't taken a chance to take shots at me or take shots at my intelligence because I didn't know the answer to something. Instead, they're willing to always to say, well, Chris, actually, this is how you can do this. And that's the type of motivation that I needed. I've always needed that. In fact, I always got it from one other person too. She's no longer with me. That would be my grandmother. She always took the chance to tell me and show me something. Sometimes other family members, not so much. Friends, not so much. Lovers, not so much either. But I want to get into that idea too. I remember there was someone that I was dating, and there was a question I had about something. I can't remember the exact question. I asked her about it, and I was expecting somewhat of a neutral answer or some type of answer that would be, to be able to enlighten me on something. But what did she do? She decided to take the opportunity to step on me. She took the opportunity to make me feel less than, instead of actually bridging the gap and saying, actually, Chris, this is how you can do this. But instead it was more like, I'm disappointing you. I'm disappointed you don't know this. But that was a pattern I realized. A pattern that even goes to the blood relatives. When I would ask questions, instead of being talked to with decency and sincerity, instead, I was met with curse words. I was met with a really low focus, low vibrational type of response. And that reinforced of what I was used to. You know what I mean? Well, I was used to that type of feeling of lack, that feeling of being misunderstood. But moving forward these days, I've become a bit of a different creature, a bit of a different person that has more of a confidence. But at the same time, I'm human just like anybody else. I have my good days and I have my bad days. You know what I mean? I have days that I have self-doubts. I have days when I want to break down. I want to shed a tear about something that's not going precisely the way I would like it to go. It happens to every one of us. But the difference of me now compared to years ago is that I can truly have a setback and then say, you know what? This really sucks right here. I hate that I took this fall, but I know that I will get back up even stronger. I may not know the answer to this particular question, but I will get the answer some way, shape, or form. I will rise to the occasion. I may be lacking on this particular piece of knowledge, but I know that once I reach down, go into my studies, going to look into the information for myself, I know I'm going to grab a big, huge portion of knowledge, and I'm going to use it at my disposal for sure. And that's why I want to tell you all who may be having a sense of lack or having a sense of gray area thinking that, no matter what you do, you're not going to be important enough to make a difference in this world, or not be good enough to make a difference in your own life in some way, shape, or form, or make a difference to other people. Don't worry so much about that. Understand that you are a human being that is allowed to have errors. You're allowed to make mistakes. You're allowed to not have all the answers, but that doesn't mean you are not able to go and get those answers done, get those problems fixed some way, shape, or form. To replace that dark, dreary outlook with a golden outlook. It may be dreary today, but you better believe I'm going to come back even stronger, and I'm going to come back with a golden outlook on things, a golden prospect of how I'm going to go about my life to make it more enriching. I'm going to unlock my abundance in financial wise, my abundance, health wise, physically wise, my abundance in being able to love myself, being able to have an open heart to love other people, and not punish people who may just so happen to get in a relationship with me or have some type of personal relation with me. I'm not going to punish those people because of mistakes from the past. I'm not going to punish those people from hurts from the past by people who have done awful things from the past. And then all of a sudden, when a good person comes along, I'm going to all of a sudden punish them for past mistakes. No, I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take whatever downfall that has happened, and I'm going to build off of that experience. I'm going to apply my golden outlook on all of what I want to do and what I want to accomplish, no matter what it may be. This is a motivation speech that is supposed to motivate you guys who may be watching, whoever may be watching, but it's also for me too, because I find myself not feeling the best today, if I can be honest with you. But I like to admit that because I want you all to know that I'm human just like you all. I'm human just like anybody else. I'm not special to where I'm above anybody. I don't have it all together all the time. There's times I'm stumble. There's times I'm wondering, am I really doing the right thing? Am I really going the right path? But then when I see the positive changes around me, when I see the strides that I'm making, when I take a look at how sad and how down I was so many years ago, and then I look at what I do now daily, each day, of how my outlook has truly changed, it lets me know that yes, I am on the right path. Doing these videos like I'm doing right now, this is a sign that I am truly on the right path and I'm going after my purpose. I'm disregarding the haters. I'm disregarding the people who are very hateful towards me and stuff in the past. And I've come to realize that some of the very people that tried their damnedest to dim my light, I'm now serving to be some type of beacon of light during their hard times, when they're lonely, when they're sad, when they're confused about their own lives in some way, shape, or form. They sometimes come to this page, check out and see what I have to say to give them some direction. And I'm not just saying that just to feel good about myself. Let me share you a story. There was one person, a guy, that I worked with at Walmart some years ago. This guy was a bit of a snake for real. But at first I knew him and his family, and I had looked up to him. I thought he was a good guy, thought he was awesome, thought he was smooth. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, we had a falling out of some kind. And not that we even had a actual physical altercation or an even verbal disagreement. But something made this guy change with me. I don't know what happened. He all of a sudden started to spread stuff about me, negative things about me around the workplace, telling anybody new that he may see speaking to me. He would go ahead and run up to that person. If I left out, he would tell him, hey, I noticed you were speaking to so-and-so. And if I were you, I would totally not do that. He's a creep. He's a freak. Stay away from him. All right? That's what he said. But then, some weeks ago, I remember his mother had came up to me because she always had a good relationship with me. Granted, I haven't spoken to her in a long time, but his mother came up to me and said, oh, Chris, hey, I just want to tell you something. Yeah, what's going on? You know, my son, I walked in the kitchen the other morning, and he was emotional. He was crying a little bit, and he was saying, thank you, Chris. She said, I didn't know what he was thinking. I didn't know what he was talking about. I went ahead and went up closer to see what he was looking at on his phone, and lo and behold, it was one of your videos. Your video touched him so deeply, he started to weep, saying thank you. His mother didn't know that her son was beefing with me, and she had no idea of the lousy things that he had been saying about me recently around that time frame. But it just goes to show you, people who try to dim your light, people who try to be a hater towards you, can sometimes be the people that you are motivating behind the scenes. And of course, they would never want you to know about it. They would never want you to know any type of knowledge that, yes, they do like you and they do look up to you. They may not want to actually say it to your face. They may not want to even admit that they want to speak to you deep down inside, but they are watching, and you are inspiring them in some way, shape, or form. So never discount yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Never discount your ability to have value. And sometimes value is not just what, monetary value, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't always have to do with economic value or some type of popularity contest situation. Sometimes you can show value by just simply being yourself and answering the call when it comes to your own destiny, answering the call to accepting your own abilities, your gifts that's been given to you, that was meant for you. That is how you show value. Value is not always about the bank account, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes you can have abundance with so many different things. So many things that does not have a price tag on it. But people who truly know, people who are enlightened, can see the value within you. And that's why I want to say, please, maintain your golden outlook. Maintain it. Don't give up when things get really tough. Don't just stop trying because things are not working out right then and there. You may need to pivot in your journey, but it doesn't mean that your journey is all for naught. Please don't think that way. That's all I have to say for this video, okay? I hope everyone has a lovely day, and to remember, stay golden. Bye.